The video that follows documents a civil disobedience action that took place on January 29, 2018 at Girard College in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Community activists were protesting closed-door meetings between the Mayor's Office of Education and the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce.
When people of power, money, and influence meet in secret and shut out the very people they are discussing, there is no way that is benefiting the common good. These folks are planning how to profit off our children while marketing it in terms that will be palatable. I am here to bear witness, say no, and let the powers that be know that we will fight back. These are our children, our schools, our neighborhood. Can you tell us why you're here today?
I'm here because I wasn't invited, and I'm a parent and a taxpayer, and there should be nothing going on about education behind closed doors where money is being discussed. The future of our kids are being discussed, and there's not students, educators, or parents invited to this.
So our schools have been starved. So in the future, there will be pay-for-success opportunities where venture capital will be used to, quote-unquote, fix our schools and children will be put onto largely technological online learning systems to mine their data to justify profits for these private investments.
Hi, I'm Danielle Arnold-Schwartz. I'm a parent and teacher in Lower Merion School District, and I'm here supporting our friends and neighbors in Philadelphia today. Children should be our #1 priority in this country.
I'm here because I think that in the 21st century, in 2018, January 2018, one of the most important things for us all to do is speak up, to fight for our public institutions that are so viciously being under attack right now.
Can you tell us why they're here? Would you mind telling on camera why you're here?
Yeah, of course.
All right, go for it.
I am here in support of other parents and other educators and activists in the city that want to bring attention that there's private conversations going on about our children's education, public education in the city of Philadelphia. And it's very important that we're out here and bring attention to these issues for the people who are attending.
Okay, Kristen, can you tell us why you're here?
I'm here today because I support knowing what our government's doing with our public education dollars and our tax dollars. So I think a bunch of businessmen's interests may not align perfectly with what parents and teachers want for our students, because I know that we need adequate staff, we need our buildings maintained properly, our students need the proper things to work with every day, and those are things we don't all have. And just thinking of them as a piece of human capital does not do them a service that we need to in public education.
You have something to add.
Cecil B. Moore was president of the NAACP of Philadelphia and fought for a year to open this school to boys of color and then eventually girls. And his daughters, Cecily and Alexis, went to Philadelphia public schools, including the Philadelphia High School for Girls, which is 5 years without a librarian, college preparatory high school. 197 of our schools are now without a functioning library.
Known as Read by Fourth, associated with the Free Library, who instead of advocating for a library in every one of our schools, thinks that a Band-Aid, like a nonprofit Read by Fourth campaign, can get our kids to literacy. What gets our kids to literacy are fully staffed libraries, well stocked with books, which research has shown aids academic success, not a Band-Aid like Read by Fourth. That should be in addition to fully stocked libraries, not in lieu of.
But she's a poet right there. Yeah. And she has a camera this way. All right, well, we're being pretty effective. There's a lot of street parking that's filling up. They're pretty much
Yeah, I agree, Cars.
getting our demands.
Well, we are lots of concerned citizens. We are clubs of working educators, apps, our cities, our schools. We're just very concerned that the Chamber of Commerce is having a closed-door meeting about public schools.
Okay.
And in our opinion, nothing about us without us. And the tickets were $35, and you had to be a Chamber of Commerce member to get them. And that makes it inaccessible to us. So we basically want to stop people as they're walking in and give them information.
Okay.
What about
You have to comply.
Well,
Yes, ma'am.
What if we held it and then when a car came, we stepped back?
well, I mean, I think what we're trying to
Let me
say is
ask you a
that
question. What is your objective here?
Just speak for her.
so
You just asked me a question, so I'm coming back with you. You said, "Can I ask you a question,
Right, but you
officer?"
didn't
I said yes. Yes, I did. Actually did. I said you cannot block an entrance.
Even if we let them in.
What I'm saying to you, you can let them in, but this is considered a blockage.
I understand. But
Now, what I'm
see,
saying to
we're
you
doing
is,
this as an act of civil disobedience.
And-
I know.
and-
We just have to. I know you do, and so I understand, and I'm sure you
Now,
understand this particular space.
this is-
And you have your job to do, and we have our job to do. So I respect that.
Okay.
But if
we got to come to a medium here.
Okay.
We got to come to
Well-
one because I'm explaining to you that you can't block. So you
But the problem is we're being blocked. We're being blocked from these are our children and our schools and our teachers, and they're not allowed in there. Well, they decide what's going to happen to our schools, our children, and our neighborhoods.
I have no control over what they do in there.
Exactly, neither do we. That's why we're standing right
Okay.
here.
So I got that. But what I do have some control over is advising you guys that you cannot block an entrance to a facility.
Right. We do.
Okay.
We understand that is your job, and you understand
the
that
way you
this
can
is.
negotiate this is you can still make your point, you can still be seen. Go that way, come this way, as long as they can go in and out.
I guess freely now. Well, you have to give people like. Well, I understand. So I'm just standing here. I mean, if
Your signs will still be seen. Your signs will still be seen. Because if that's the point that you're making for your sign to be seen.
Well, no,
your
part of
signs
our
will
point
still
is to
be
say
seen.
that we need acknowledgement of the people in this they
In
would
that
like to drive
space.
by and not engage with the public. And by needing to park in the public sphere and come in by foot and walk. I mean, if someone's in a wheelchair, obviously, but the fact of people needing to see that there are people in this equation is important, and just to sort of drive in.
Because technically we're not blocking, because they can totally walk around us and go in.
I mean, we're not like
You are.
listening to
You
anyone.
are. You are.
Sorry, say that again.
Somebody's is are you going to move out of the way if the car goes by?
SRC just agreeing to
As of
abolish
now,
this
no.
stuff because of the mayor and the governor.
Okay,
We thought
well,
that things were about to become transparent for our kids, and then they did this.
I mean, if that's what it is, that's what we'll do. I mean, that's what $35 ticket event. I know. Well, we weren't invited. So, you guys keep the banners.
Should have been.
We're just telling you. We know most people invited don't
I
bill.
thought it was like in public for anyone who wanted to go.
Well, there you have it.
I mean, 35
You got here just in time,
But I don't know what else is more important than this, right?
I agree.
We're in this moment. We're in this moment where supposedly the city has local control of its schools, and we're all celebrating. But the truth is, there's a big white building over there that's full of people who paid $35 to figure out what the plan is, and we're not part of it.
And we're not part of it.
We're not part of that plan.
Thank you.
You know, our kids are, their futures are being plotted out to serve the needs of industry.
Yep.
And, you know, like I said, we're in this moment. We're the year of the boys. And, you know, we have these two models of education, right? We have a model where it's, you know, a model that's where children are meant to serve business interests and be trained in very narrow skill sets, which is more the Booker T. Washington model, like to fit within the current oppressive social structure. Or we have a Du Bois model, which is to engage intellectually and communally with the world and to envision a future that's much better than what we have right now. What we have right now is not working for our people. It's not working for the people of Philadelphia. It's not going to work for the children of Philadelphia. So to pretend that we're going to come up with some sort of workforce pathway when we don't even know what the future of labor is ridiculous.
Right.
And we need to be part of this conversation. This conversation should be part of the community, not part of a club.
Listen. The young lady, she's going to allow you guys to put your banners exactly the way you had it. And because she's okay with you guys doing it that way, you will not be locked up. But if she asked us at any moment to have y'all removed, then we will lock you up. You understand?
Yep.
You want to stay?
I understand. I mean, we were prepared.
All right. All right. Had a close call there. Laying down the road is not necessary. Excellent.
But I'll see you soon.
All right. Saturday, 9:30. It's early, right? Friday, yeah.
All right, you can see here the Chamber of Commerce representative is directing people to park on the street.
So I am, my name is Tanya Ba, and I'm the proud parent of Philadelphia Public School students that are 16 years old that attend Widener and Carver. I'm a former Philadelphia Public School student, now a parent. Since the SRC was shut down, if you will, with June being the new start for our board, I'm excited about representing what true education actually looks like outside of profits for opportunists, venture capitalists, and anybody that is trying to move education and the needle in the direction of indentured servitude. So I'm running. I'm also running to discuss curriculum and how we can improve it, and to oppose the ridiculous standardized testing.
We have concerns around real literacy, like what does it take to really support literacy in our city? Literacy is not an app. Literacy is not an online preschool. And literacy needs to happen in schools. It's not to be outsourced to volunteers, however well-meaning. It's not something that you can fundraise with like a check here and there or a restaurant fundraiser. We need meaningful funding for our public schools. We need smaller classes. We need our libraries back with librarians. We don't need just little classroom libraries of curated books that somebody picks. We need libraries and librarians and reading specialists. We know what works. So that's what our kids deserve. But you know what? That doesn't produce data. And so where we're moving, and this is not just education, this is all sorts of human services. This is healthcare and behavioral health and social work and counseling. All of these things are getting put onto digital platforms because there's no public money and they want to make it for private investments, which is this pay-for-success model, which is coming not just here, it's coming all over the country. I have friends who are protesting this in other places in Waco, Texas, and then John Davenport, good for you. And we are trying to sound the alarm that data-driven, big data predictive analytics is not what we want for children or people. We want humanity. And this is like how humans make changes. We come together. We came together tonight to educate one another. And I fully expect there are probably many people in this room who are at this meeting who don't understand the bigger picture. And they think, oh, business opportunities, well, that's great. They just want to help. And many of them may. And they may not understand that this is part of a larger economic shift, that this is a third way approach to privatizing government. And once you do that, those people are accountable to philanthropic interests, not the people. Public education is a public trust for the people. And that's why we're here. And that's why I'm like, it warms my heart that so many people came out who were teachers and parents and from outside the city and in the city to have this conversation. And, you know, we're having it in the street now because we weren't invited in. And, you know, maybe everyone will wake up and be like, hey, pay for success, you're right. That's a bad plan. We're not going to do that in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is smarter than other big cities. Philadelphia is going to be like, no Bloomberg philanthropies, no Pritzker, no Goldman Sachs. We're not doing social impact investing on children. And I think Philly can do it because I believe in Philly. I believe in Philadelphians. We are scrappy people and we're smart. And we're not going to be manipulated by corporate interests. We're just not. So,
Power to the people.
Power to the people. So, all right. So it seems like things are winding down, but this is the Philadelphia Pay for Success Social Impact Finance protest show for tonight. And I think we did a good job tonight. We educated a lot of people. We filled up the streets with cars. People had to walk in and see our message, and I think it's going to resonate.